In the beginning, there was a disk of sun, and around the sun there were yellow beams. Then the sun seemed to be nearing. Then out of the sun there seemed to be many suns. At the top of the sun was a yellow being who burned away the darkness upon the earth. Everything glowed pink, and the daylight dawned. The sun's disk appeared as the whitest white, then yellowish pink, then pink. Then yellow was spreading, and there seemed to be many people in the middle. Then the blackness disappeared, and the whitest white showed. The Uyghur language.
Читайте, що читав. Ağır dedi.
Boldu.
When my daughter Katya was lying on the sofa in Moscow with a massive nosebleed, blood loss was so enormous that it was incompatible with life. Blood was jetting out of her nose like a fountain. No one was at home at the time. Something had to be done before the ambulance arrived. Serious blood issues brought me to Ayat. It was Verligov disease, myelodysplastic syndrome. This disease is evidenced by nasal and vaginal bleeding. As soon as I got sick, I went straight into intensive care because of my enormous blood loss. There, I immediately started receiving 18 pills of prednisone every 24 hours. This therapy did not help because platelets, which are responsible for blood clotting, did not form, and the only option left was to remove my spleen. This is when we learned about Farhat Ata. Mom took me to Chunja, Kazakhstan, for the first time in May of 2000. Farhat Ata was treating me and working with me for a long time and said, "Everything will be good." He said that surgery and pills would not help me. But all of this was extremely difficult because my blood loss was so tremendous, so it was pretty hard to stop the pills. Only in 2002 did I stop taking medications. Right away I faced huge vaginal bleeding which would not stop for 35 days. All this time Farhat Ata was by my side treating me. During this period I was in his house in Chunja next to him. He took me to his hometown, Aksu, where supernatural forces were given to Farhat Ata. During this time, I could only lie down because of the blood loss. By medical standards, I could not survive without blood transfusions and strong medications. Farhat Ata kept saying that everything is going to be all right. After that, I began having a steady recovery. Blood loss stopped, and I did not take any medications for almost 2 years. What happened to Katya is simply beyond belief. It was purely incredible. It was incompatible to us. How was it possible to have our child reborn in the mountains? But this was the reality. We simply couldn't understand this. She died there and was reborn, and this happened within 2 minutes. She was lying there showing no signs of life. This was reality, but how? Nobody could understand. The power of Farhat Ata is simply unique. A person who gives back life. Farhat Ata. Abdullahi Farhat Muhammadovich was born on October 23, 1937 in Kazakhstan. Lived through cold, hunger, and the ravages of war. At the age of 5, he spent the winter alone in a cold house, warming by the oven at night, eating whatever people would give to him. Every day there was a battle with cold, hunger, and death. However, regardless of everything, any torments of hell, our Farhat Ata lived through this period with the help of supernatural powers which guided him from above. After that, he went through school, served in the military stationed in Moscow, married the girl next door, Nina, fathered 6 children, worked as a bus driver for 12 to 14 hours a day to provide a roof and food on the table for his family and give an education to his children. Through all these struggles in life, Farhat Ata never was dejected. He knew about his mission on this planet Earth. First appearances of supernatural energy started a long time ago, when he applied his hands to people's wounds and they healed quickly. Starting in 1992, Farhat Ata actively started working on healing people. Abdullahi Farhat Muhammadovich was a member of many congresses and forums of alternative healing. He was honored as the best healer in Russia and the best healer of the 3rd millennia. In 2002, he was awarded an academic status. To his students, Farhat Ata often said that for me, healing is not the first priority. The most important thing is to change the consciousness of the person. Who am I, you will not understand. I am a riddle. I am a philosopher, I am a distributor, and I am a being of the sun. Who here is clairvoyant? Does anyone see anything? Rissa Diamidova, clairvoyant from Moscow. In Chunja, the sun flow feels stronger than in Moscow. However, you can feel it here as well. Every day, the flow is increasing in power. It becomes stronger and stronger. The flow could be different, as can be the beams. Beams flowing through the head to the organs, filling them with macro sun elements. Beams could be a rainbow or golden in color, and each beam fills the organs with a specific color, the one which is necessary for the person's recovery of the organ, systems, or the whole body. Negative energy is burned off by these sunbeams and leaves the body through the soles of one's feet into the ground.
Тихо, тихо, тихо.
Working with the system of Farhat Ata implies that one is working with energy. The energy of the sun is the energy of love. What kind of work is it? This work is happening with all of the organs at the same time. The recovery of the person happens as a whole. At first, work moves on a spiritual level, and secondarily, on a physical level. The sun's beams, which Farhat Ata directs through the eye of a student to the eye of the patient, penetrates to all organs of the patient. Take notice, the future is already here, and will be one in which medicine is without scalpel, without pills or medication. I, Dmitry Churilov, was born in 1983. In 1996, I was taken to the Central Hospital because I was sick, and then I was sent to the Regional Oncological Dispensary, where I was diagnosed with moderate secondary myelodysplastic syndrome and severe anemia. For 3.5 years, I was under the supervision of hematology and oncology. During this time, I had more than 20 blood transfusions. On February 26, 1999, I was discharged from the hospital with a diagnosis of myelodysplastic syndrome, formerly known as pre-leukemia, and exacerbated hemolytic anemia. Immediately, Abdullayev Farhat Muhammadovich engaged my treatment, which lasted for 5 months. The last time I was tested was in 2002, and today doctors have diagnosed me as healthy. I was classified from 1996 through 2001 as a disabled child, and in 2002 the diagnosis of disability was removed and I was proclaimed healthy.